Hello, this is Mark Turnbull, and thanks for watching this video, which I've put together to mark the anniversary of the Battle of Cropredy Bridge, which took place on the 29th of June 1644.
Cropredy Bridge was the first in a two-part encounter which stunningly transformed King Charles's position in the south. June 1644 did not start well for King Charles. Holed up in his headquarters in Oxford, the king's army was depleted and two enemy armies were on the loose. He was at an immediate disadvantage in numbers, even if he only had to contend with one of those forces, never mind both. As a result, a rash decision was taken that the Royalists would abandon Reading, despite it only recently being agreed that the garrison would be maintained. As soon as 2,500 men marched out of the town to boost the king's numbers, Parliament sent its armies to occupy it, allowing them to push ever closer to the star prize, Oxford. One of the armies of Parliament, commanded by the Earl of Essex, headed towards the north of Oxford, while the other army, led by Sir William Waller, marched south of the city. Both looked set to encircle Oxford and starve the king into submission, and if successful, this would deliver the monarch into their hands and end the war. But King Charles had a plan, and that firstly involved breaking free. On 3rd of June, he clattered out of Oxford with a force mostly consisting of cavalry, and headed west towards Worcester, drawing the attention of the two armies who pursued in a cat-and-mouse chase. The two tomcats, however, did not get on and decided to part ways. Essex would march into the southwest and leave Waller to catch the king. Waller eyed his royal prey and watched as it now scurried north, shadowing as close as he could. But the wily king had his infantry transported onto boats and sailed them south again down the River Avon, allowing his army to outmaneuver Waller and reach Oxford once more, where he collected the rest of his troops. These reinforcements put the king's force equal in number to Waller's. Each man commanded 5,000 horse and 4,000 foot. But the king was far from out of the woods. There was still the risk that Waller and Essex might reunite, so it was important that he continued to lure Waller away from his partner. Therefore King Charles was eastward bound, threatening Parliament's territories in the East Anglia. A successful move which prompted Parliament to instruct Waller to stop him. By 27th of June, the king and Waller were 5 miles away from each other. On 29th of June, the king's army was near Banbury, marching on the east side of the River Cherwell, while Waller's men shadowed them on the west bank like ghostly silhouettes. Within 1 mile of each other, neither side wished to attack first, and it was news that 300 cavalry were on their way to join Waller that eventually spurred King Charles on. He hastened his march in a bid to cut off his enemy detachment and defeat it before it reached Waller. In doing so, the king's army became strung out, and Waller found it too tempting an opportunity to pass up. The parliamentarian crossed the Cherwell at 2 points, aiming to nip the king's rear guard within a deadly pincer movement. Initially, Waller managed to cross Cropredy Bridge, but he was soon driven back on both accounts, and the king's men took possession of 11 artillery pieces in the process. By evening, both armies still faced each other, though neither could secure outright victory. The king, having lost few men, offered Waller a pardon, but the commander refused to treat with the monarch. After hearing that further reinforcements were on their way to Waller, the king took the chance of slipping away along with the daylight. Under cover of night and with his prize guns, the king left Waller licking his wounds over the loss of 700 soldiers. The dawn of a new day shone kindly upon the king's cause, for Waller's demoralized army was soon racked by desertion and mutiny and left lame. It was now of no threat to the king, who turned and followed Essex ever deeper into the southwest, aiming to finish off the second army that had once threatened him. This was King Charles's greatest personal military success of the entire English Civil War, and he would go head-to-head with Essex in 6 weeks' time in an effort to add to his laurels.
Well, thanks for watching the video. That's the first video that I've produced as a narrative to a battle, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Tomorrow, it's the anniversary of the Yorkshire battle, Adwalton Moor, and for that, I'll be writing a short narrative of the battle, which I'll post on the Facebook site.